Hey everybody, welcome to another video from the Open Air Model Shop with Hooterville 75 and Midnight the Ferocious Sissy. What a last couple of days it's been. After speaking with Detective Morris in regards to the Papa Dan whereabouts, we decided that maybe it would be better to try to locate this gentleman if I took Midnight and we went to the Columbus area and then released Midnight to use her magical sniffer and try to sniff this gentleman out. Well, that's what we did. So Midnight and I traveled to Columbus, and thanks to my special friend, who happens to be a special agent. His name is Special Agent Barnibee Squidward. Volunteered to give us his services and actually use his private jet to fly us there, which happened to be, thank God, an FA-18E Super Hornet. Talk about Mach 5, man. We were there in like that quick. It was awesome. But Detective Morris arranged for us to meet up with this unnamed agent that he mentioned in the last video that works with the FBI and Homeland Securities. And I decided, well, since we're going that far and we're going to Bucknutsville, I wanted to meet up with my other friend that he never really got into nothing big, but he was always into the like forensic side of things. But like I said, he was never nothing big. So I met with Jim Tressel, and we decided we were going to go look for this gentleman. Well, we were going to go have some lunch somewhere, and Midnight, for some reason, just stops and looks. You know, looks at me, looks over again, and I could just tell she had that look that it was one of those looks where I want to go in here. You know, like when they're out doing their business of taking a leak or something, they find a place where they want to just stop and sniff for a while. That's the look she gave me. Well, it just happened that this was another place you could eat, and it was called the Krabby Patty Losers Lounge. I was like, well, whatever, let's go in here. So we get in there, and the employees give me a bunch of shit because I have this dog. And if Midnight can't go, I'm not going. I don't go nowhere Midnight can't. That's my partner in crime. So I finally convinced the employees that she was my service dog. So I needed her to be able to function. Well, we go through the first room, and we're into the second room, maybe 7-8 steps, and Midnight just freezes. You know, Midnight's a hunting dog, so when she freezes, she's getting ready to attack something. I mean, her tail just stood straight at attention, and all of a sudden, I mean, she just busted out with this bark. And anybody that knows Midnight knows that she's a real loving, friendly, caring dog. Real sweet bark. And this bark was just ferocious. I mean, well, actually it was her Bucknuts and Wolvereenes bark. So I knew something was going on. All of a sudden I look over about 4 tables over, and there's this man matching this description, and I'm like, what the hell? He had SpongeBob SquarePants shirt on. He had the Mickey PJ bottoms on. But what I didn't get is he had a Bucknuts hat on and Winnie the Pooh slippers. I was like, man, what is this guy's on whack or something? So Special Agent Barnibee Squidward apprehends this gentleman, and sure enough, he resembled Papa Dan. So while we're apprehending this guy, this unnamed agent that Detective Morris set us up with vanished. And I was like, what the hell? I looked at Barnibee, and he looked at me, and I looked at Tressel, and Tressel said, don't you know who that is? And I was like, no, who is it? He said, that's the head security for Bucknuts Arena. I was like, what? He was like, yeah, the Bucknuts Arena Stadium. Ohio's where Ohio State plays football. He's the head security. I'm like, okay, that's super. So we talked about it while we were apprehending this guy, getting ready to leave to question this guy. We talked about it, and we decided we were going to can him for conflict of interest. So I hope Detective Morris isn't mad about it, but we had to because of the conflict of interest. So we get this guy to where we're going to questioning, and we're questioning him, and I mean, stuff just wasn't jiving. I mean, he had no clue who Caleb was. He had no clue what Toys R Us was. I mean, seriously, Toys R Us? I don't want to be a Toys R Us kid. No clue what Toys R Us is. And this guy, he's just, you know, not making any sense. And I said, well, when you were released free, why were you yelling Wolverines? He said, I wasn't yelling Wolverines. He's like, I was yelling, kill the Wolverines, kill the Wolverines. It ended up that this guy was just released from the Harding Hospital, which, I don't know if you know it or not, but the Harding Hospital is the Bucknuts University Behavioral and Mental Health Hospital in Columbus. So I was like, what are we doing now? And I was like, well, let me call Tommy quick, Colonel Rub Scale Models, and let him ask him a couple questions just to be sure, because he can ask them. They're pretty tight. He can ask them questions that only him and Papa Dan will know. And Tommy did his thing. I got on the phone with Tommy, and he's like, dude, he's like, that's not Papa Dan. He said, that's way far not Papa Dan. He said, dude, he needs committed to a psych ward. And I was like, oh my God, what the hell? Isn't that ironic? The guy was just released from Harding Hospital. Tommy had no clue that he was just discharged. And he's saying that he needs to go to the psych ward. So I looked at this guy and I said, hey, I guess you're free to go. He said, dude, I'm just simply known as Bubba Dan, the Bucknuts fan. Okay, so obviously this guy is known to everybody in Bucknutsville as a special fan. So what do you do now? So we did that. Now I gotta get a hold of Detective Morris again. Well, not get a hold, but I got a hold of Detective Morris again to let him know what's going on, and let him know that the safe house that they busted was just that, a complete bust. And he's gonna have to get a hold of his friend that is a policeman in the private sector in Columbus, and let him know that it was a bust, and we're gonna have to look for additional clues. So I mean, all I can think of, I want to get to the bottom of this. I mean, this is going on way too long. I miss Papa Dan. I miss Caleb's corner. Caleb is just probably ecstatic without his papa. Papa Dan and him are tight. So the only hombre I know that is keen enough and slick enough to get to the bottom of this quick, we're going to have to bring in. And we're going to have to bring in the big guns. So, ladies and gentlemen, to you, I proudly present the next hombre on this case, Smitty Wesson. Stay tuned, y'all.